want to bring in an analyst who covers Dell Computer. We're talking about Shaw Wu, technology analyst over at Kaufman Bros. He's got a hold rating on the stock, and he joins us on the phone right now. So, Shaw, Julie was just breaking down some of those numbers on Dell. That gross margin, 17.6%, adjusted gross margin, shy of what analysts were looking for. What do you think of the report?
Yes, the reporter is actually quite good overall, but that's also pretty consistent with what we've seen from HP, Intel, and Apple. But you're right, the gross margin is somewhat concerning, and it is a sign of basically the pricing for them, and also whether it looks like component pricing hit them harder than rising component costs like memory hit them harder than it did HP or Apple.
Right, because they did talk about seeing some components in tight supply in the next couple of quarters. How problematic could that be for Dell?
Yeah, that is something that could continue to put pressure on gross margin, as that is the largest component of COGS. So that's definitely an overhang.
Hey, Shaw, it's Julie here. Just wanted to bring in something else that they talk about in this statement, and that is that the second quarter and the first part of the third quarter typically experience slower demand from larger commercial customers in the U.S. and Europe. So talking about seasonality here, is this something that Dell typically mentions, or do you think they're setting folks up to perhaps not be terribly optimistic about the third quarter, second and third quarters?
That's pretty interesting commentary from Dell, because that's actually somewhat opposite of what we've heard from Intel and HP, they've both been talking about an improving enterprise environment. So perhaps there's some share losses going on there, but that language is actually a little different than what we've heard from others.
It's a little bit of a mixed picture here, because the company does say it's seeing the early stages of a corporate IT refresh, and that commercial demand is building, and that it may continue to build, but then is getting that other more muted commentary at the same time. So perhaps Dell just being cautious. Yeah,
no, I would agree there. The language is definitely somewhat more mixed than what we've seen from some others, and it could be indicative of share losses. The other thing is, they're probably also trying to be conservative.
Hey, Shaw, one quick question, 30 seconds here. The stock's down about 5% in the after-hours trading. You've got a hold. Would you be selling on this news here? Does the response make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, we actually have a $13 price target with a hold rating, and I think I'm frankly not that surprised with the reaction. Obviously, some others out there could might be, but we think fair value is around $13.
All right, we got to run. Hey, Shaw, thanks so much for joining us, really breaking down the numbers. Shaw Wu, analyst over at Kaufman Bros.